She said, "It's not a real vacation unless it's Instagram worthy," and refused to go on my planned camping trip. I replied, "You're right." She unfollowed me after seeing the photos I posted of me proposing to my new girlfriend at the ugly campsite. Original post. I, 31 male, am sitting in my apartment looking at a non-refundable campsite reservation for next month and honestly feeling relieved. My now ex-girlfriend Victoria, 29, and I dated for 2.5 years. Just broke up 3 days ago over, of all things, a camping trip. Some background. I work in IT, decent salary, nothing crazy. Victoria works in brand consulting, which basically means she helps small businesses with their social media presence. Her entire life revolves around aesthetics, followers, and engagement rates. When we started dating, it was cute. She'd take photos of our dates, make little reels. I'm not big on social media, but whatever made her happy, right? But over time, it got exhausting. Every restaurant needed to be photogenic. Every weekend activity had to be content-worthy. She once made us leave a perfectly nice local Italian place because the lighting was too yellow for photos. 6 months ago, I started planning our anniversary trip. Victoria had been dropping hints about Santorini, Bali, Dubai, you know, the Instagram classics. But I'd been saving for something different. Something meaningful. See, our first real conversation happened at a coffee shop where she'd complained about her ex never planning anything thoughtful. I told her about this camping spot my grandpa used to take me to. No cell service, incredible lake, mountains, stars you wouldn't believe. She'd said it sounded romantic and authentic, so I booked it. 5 nights at this beautiful campground, got a nice tent, planned hiking routes, even bought a telescope for stargazing. Total cost, maybe $600 including all the gear. But the thought I put into it? Priceless, or so I thought. I told her about it last week, even made a little presentation. I'm a nerd, I know, with photos of the area, our itinerary, the activities planned. Her face just fell. Camping? For our anniversary? Yeah. Remember you said it sounded romantic when... That was theoretical. I didn't think you'd actually... Tom, I can't post photos from a tent. My followers expect, actual content. It's our anniversary, not a photo shoot. That's when she said it. It's not a real vacation unless it's Instagram worthy. Do you know how embarrassing it'll be when everyone asks where we went and I have to say camping? Like we're broke? We're not broke. I chose this because you're cheap. Just say it. I showed her the spreadsheet, again nerd, of everything I'd researched and planned. The specific trails, the meteor shower that would happen while we were there, the sunrise spot I'd scouted online for months. None of that matters if I can't post about it, Tom. Miranda's boyfriend just took her to Tulum. Jesse went to Paris last month, and you want me to sit in the dirt? The fight escalated. She called me aggressively basic, said I didn't understand her career and I was sabotaging her personal brand. Her personal brand? Our anniversary was about her personal brand. Finally, she delivered the ultimatum. Cancel the camping thing and book real vacation, or I'm not going anywhere with you. I looked at her. Really looked at her. This woman who I'd thought about proposing to, yes, I'd bought a ring, it was in my sock drawer, valued Instagram likes over actual experiences. You're right, I said quietly. You shouldn't come camping with me. Finally, so you'll book something else? No, I'm going camping. You're just not invited anymore. She laughed. Actually laughed. You're not serious? Dead serious. We're done, Victoria. The explosion was something. She called me pathetic, said I'd die alone in a tent, that I was too poor for her anyway, and that she'd been settling for someone who drives a Honda. I drive a Civic, it's paid off, it runs great, but apparently that's embarrassing too. She grabbed her stuff, mostly ring lights and phone tripods she kept at my place, and stormed out. But not before delivering her final blow. Good luck finding someone who'll want to go sit in the woods with you. I'm going to Cabo next month with someone who actually values me. Cool, I said. Have fun. She blocked me on everything. Mutual friends said she posted a story about cutting toxic people out and knowing your worth. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here with a camping reservation, a telescope, and oddly excited? Like a weight's been lifted. Is that weird? Update 1. 2 weeks later. Wasn't expecting to update, but things have been interesting. First, Victoria's smear campaign has been something else. She's been telling everyone I'm financially abusive because I wouldn't pay for a luxury vacation. Mind you, she makes more than me with her consulting business. But apparently, the man should always pay for the real vacations. Her friend group has been split. Her influencer friends are rallying behind her, posting cryptic quotes about knowing your worth and not settling for less. Meanwhile, some of our mutual friends have been reaching out to me, saying they're relieved someone finally stood up to her Instagram obsession. My buddy Derek said, "Dude, remember when she made us reshoot the group photo 37 times at my birthday because the angle wasn't flattering? We were at a bowling alley." But here's the interesting development. I decided to still go camping. Alone? No, this is where it gets funny. Remember that coffee shop where Victoria and I had our first real conversation? Well, I still go there every Saturday morning. Last weekend, I ran into Hazel, 28F. She works at the outdoor gear store where I bought the camping equipment. She recognized me and asked how the camping prep was going. I gave her the short version. X thought camping wasn't Instagram worthy enough. Hazel literally snorted coffee through her nose. She didn't deserve the Perseids meteor shower anyway. She knew about the meteor shower. This woman knew the actual astronomical event I'd planned the trip around. We talked for 2 hours. About hiking, about nature, about how she deleted Instagram last year because it was killing her ability to actually enjoy moments. She showed me photos on her actual camera, not phone, from her last backpacking trip. They were stunning, but she hadn't posted them anywhere. "What's the point?" she said. "The mountain doesn't care about likes." Before I knew it, I was asking if she'd like to come camping. As friends, just friends. She knew the area, loved astronomy, and honestly, after Victoria, I needed to be around someone who could exist without documenting it. She said yes immediately. "I've been wanting to see the Perseids from elevation. This is perfect." Meanwhile, Victoria's Cabo trip? Yeah, about that. The someone who was taking her? Turned out to be this crypto guy named Bradley she'd met at a networking event. He'd been sliding into her DMs promising yacht parties and private villas. According to her ex-friend Natalie, who reached out to me with tea, Bradley's promises were exaggerated. He's staying at an Airbnb. Nothing wrong with that, but not the private villa promised. The yacht party was a sunset booze cruise with 50 other people, and his crypto portfolio apparently crashed last month. Victoria's been posting anyway, but Natalie said she's been complaining in their group chat about having to pay for her own meals and how Bradley keeps asking to borrow money for investments. The best part? She tried to make me jealous by posting a story of the sunset with "living my best life with someone who values luxury." I didn't see it, blocked, remember? But Derek screenshotted it. The comments were brutal. Someone pointed out you could see the Booze Cruise Company logo in the corner. Another person noticed she was wearing the same outfit in 3 different days of posts. Update 2. Post-camping trip. Just got back from the camping trip. I need to share this because the level of petty from Victoria's side has reached new heights, but also, life has taken an unexpected turn. First, the camping trip with Hazel was incredible. Purely platonic, before anyone asks. We were literally in separate tents. But this woman knew exactly when the meteor shower would peak, brought her own telescope, way better than mine, and taught me how to do long exposure photography with her old film camera. We hiked 15 miles total, saw 3 bears from safe distance, jumped in the lake at sunrise, and had the kind of deep conversations you can only have when there's no cell service to distract you. She told me about her dad, who was a park ranger, how she grew up in nature, and why she chose to work at an outdoor gear store even though she has a master's in engineering. "Life's too short to spend it in a cubicle," she said while we watched the sunset over the mountains. I posted exactly 3 photos when I got back to civilization. 1, the sunrise over the lake. 2, the meteor shower, Hazel's long exposure shot that looked professional. 3, a selfie of us, platonic, at the summit. Both looking exhausted but happy. Caption: "Sometimes the best moments can't be captured in pixels." Within an hour, my phone exploded. Victoria had apparently been stalking my profile through her friend's account. She went nuclear. Created a whole story series about how I was rebounds already and probably cheating the whole time. Said I manipulated her into breaking up so I could be with that granola girl. Then came the texts from a Google Voice number. Really? Her? She's not even pretty. That campsite looks like where murderers hide bodies. Bet she doesn't even have followers. You downgraded so hard. Have fun being poor in the woods. I didn't respond. But Hazel saw the stories, someone sent them to her, and her response was golden. She has exactly one Instagram account with 47 followers, mostly family. She posted a single story, a photo of the constellation map from that night, with the caption, "The universe has 100 billion galaxies. Your follower count is not among the things that matter." Victoria lost it. Started DMing Hazel about how she was a pick-me girl and probably doesn't even shower. Hazel just blocked her. Didn't engage, didn't argue, just blocked and moved on. Why waste energy? Hazel said when she told me about it. But here's where the karma gets beautiful. Remember Bradley, the crypto guy? Yeah, he ghosted Victoria mid-Cabo trip, just straight up left. She had to pay for her own hotel for the last 2 nights and change her flight. But wait, it gets better. She'd been posting all these luxury lifestyle photos, tagging brands, trying to look like an influencer. One problem, she'd been staging photos in the hotel lobby and pool area of a resort she wasn't staying at. The actual resort saw her tags, investigated, and put her on blast for trespassing and false advertising. They threatened legal action if she didn't take down all the photos. Her personal brand took a massive hit, lost about 3,000 followers in 2 days. Brands she was working with pulled out. Her consulting business started getting negative reviews from people calling her a fraud. Meanwhile, Hazel and I have been hanging out, still just friends. We go hiking every weekend. She's teaching me rock climbing. I'm teaching her coding. She's interested in switching careers. No photos, no documentation, just living. Update 3. The plot twist. It's been 2 months since the camping trip. I need to update because what happened last week was so poetically perfect. I couldn't have scripted it better. So Hazel and I have been growing closer. What started as friendship became something more about a month ago. We were on a night hike watching the full moon rise, and she just kissed me. No cameras, no audience, just us and the moon. "I've been wanting to do that since you showed up to camping with a spreadsheet of activities," she said. "We've been together since. It's been quiet, private, and honestly wonderful. We told close friends but haven't posted anything online. Why would we? Our relationship isn't content. Last week I knew I wanted to take the next step. Not marriage, too soon for that. But I wanted to make us official in a bigger way. Promise rings? Some might say cheesy, but Hazel mentioned once that her grandparents had exchanged them before her grandpa went to war, and she'd always found it romantic. I planned another camping trip. Same spot. This time for the autumn colors. Hazel thought it was just a regular trip. My friend Derek and his wife came too. They love camping. What Hazel didn't know was that Derek's wife, Amy, is an amateur photographer who brought her real camera. At sunrise, at the exact spot where we'd watched the meteor shower, I gave Hazel the promise ring. It wasn't expensive, a simple silver band with a small piece of meteorite inlay. She's a space nerd, it was perfect. "This is a promise that I'll never ask you to be anything but yourself," I said. "No filters, no editing, just you." She said yes to the promise, not a proposal, to be clear. Amy caught the whole thing on her camera. The sunrise, the tears, the kiss. Real moments, real emotions, real film. I posted one photo, just one. Hazel and I holding hands, the sunrise behind us, her ring visible. Caption, "Found someone who makes reality better than any filter." Within minutes, chaos. Victoria saw it through whatever account she was stalking from. The meltdown was visible from space. She made a TikTok, yes, a whole TikTok about how I was clearly doing this to hurt her and how pathetic it was to propose at the same trashy campsite she'd rejected. But here's the thing, her engagement was embarrassingly low, like 200 views low. Turns out, after the Cabo disaster and resort scandal, her influence had cratered. Meanwhile, my single photo got more genuine engagement from my 189 followers than she'd seen in months. Then she made a critical mistake. She tagged Hazel's work account, trying to expose her as someone who steals other women's men. Hazel's boss saw it. So did their customers. And you know what happened? Nothing. Because Hazel's boss is a 60-year-old outdoorsman who doesn't give a crap about Instagram drama. But he did care about harassment. He sent Victoria a cease and desist letter from their company lawyer. Victoria then tried to rally her remaining followers to leave bad reviews for the outdoor gear store. It backfired spectacularly. The outdoor community rallied behind the store. Their sales actually went up. They started selling reality filter stickers that Hazel designed. They sold out in 2 days. Final update. It's been 6 months since the original breakup. Time for the final update. Victoria's life has evolved. After the cease and desist, she tried to rebrand as a wellness influencer who'd survived narcissistic abuse. That lasted about a month before people found her old posts making fun of granola girls and poor people hobbies like camping. She then pivoted to being a business coach, charging $500 for consultations on building a personal brand. From what I hear, she's had exactly 2 clients, both of whom asked for refunds. Last I heard through the grapevine, she'd moved back in with her parents and was working at her dad's accounting firm doing data entry. Her Instagram is now private with about 300 followers. The most recent public post was her selling her ring lights and camera equipment on Marketplace. As for Bradley, he got arrested for crypto fraud. Turns out his investments were just a Ponzi scheme. Victoria wasn't named in the investigation, but being associated with him was the final nail in her influencer coffin. Now for the happiness part. Hazel and I just moved in together. We found a little house with a big backyard where we can see the stars. No homeowners association to worry about aesthetics, just space for her telescope and my camping gear. We've started a small side business together, teaching astronomy camping workshops. No social media marketing, just word of mouth and a simple website I built. We're booked solid for the next 3 months. Remember that ring I'd bought for Victoria? I sold it, used the money to buy a better telescope for Hazel, and donated the rest to the National Parks Foundation. Last weekend we went back to the campsite. Same spot, 3rd time. This time, no big gesture, no camera, no documentation. Just us, the stars, and a bottle of wine. You know, Hazel said, Victoria was right about one thing. What's that? This place isn't Instagram worthy. No? No, it's better. It's life worthy. She was right. We laid there, watching satellites pass overhead, and I realized something. Victoria needed constant validation through likes and follows because she didn't actually like herself. Every moment had to be curated because the real moments weren't enough for her. But real moments? They're everything. The way Hazel gets excited about cloud formations. How she can name every constellation but always forgets where she put her car keys. The fact that she has exactly 7 photos of us on her phone and they're all terrible because we're laughing too hard in each one. That's life-worthy. That's real. Oh, and the promise ring? Hazel wears it on a chain around her neck when we're climbing so it won't get damaged. Sometimes I catch the sunlight hitting it, creating tiny rainbows. No camera could capture how perfect that imperfect moment is. Victoria unfollowed me from her fake account after the promise ring photo. But honestly, I'd forgotten she was watching anyway. Too busy actually living to worry about performing life for an audience. To anyone still reading, put down your phone. Go outside. Watch a sunset without recording it. Have a conversation without tweeting it. Fall in love without announcing it. Reality is waiting, and it doesn't care about your follower count. Peace out, Reddit. This account is going dark. Life's calling, and it doesn't have Wi-Fi.